Yesu nasimama, ndiye mwamba ni salama, ndiye mwamba ni salama, ndiye mwamba ni.
Nilikatwa hapa, ukiona hapa kwenye masikio nilikatwa hapa.
Kwa hiyo wakati nikakuwa nikakataa kuwapea, so wakatoa visu, and luckily nikadungwa kisu.
It is becoming an alarming because each and every week we are losing our students. So I'm urging the government to come in and take note of this because we are losing students.
Wakatuambia now you have to accept the fact the guy may pass on, so sisi ni nyinyi sign tumpeleke mochari.
Tukavurugana nao, lakini sasa wakaona kwamba imeshindikana, kabidi watumie upanga kidogo. Hadi sasa bado nina alama kichwani kwa hapa.
Tungependa serikali tusaidie tu kuongeza security lights, waongeze polisi wengine Langas ni wachache, alafu wafanye partnership na
So wakaniambia nitoe simu because walikuwa na knives. I felt that nikiresist maybe wangeenda kufanya kitu mbaya, so nikatoa simu nikawapatia, alafu hapo hivi wakaitisha the pin of the phone. By the way, I called him clear.
You hear that today someone has died, tomorrow someone has died, another day the other day someone also died, the same place.
Went to the residence, and that student had to be admitted in MTRH. So
watu wengi wameuliwa, wanafunzi pia wamesafa of insecurity, and today nimepata chance to cry to our government because of insecurity. So sasa tukiongea hivi wanafunzi wengi wameanza kuacha shule because of insecurity. Mtu anafadhalisha ile aende nyumbani kwao kuliko uliwe.
Hapa tulipo eneo hili la Cherunya katika mtaa wa Langas, moja kwa moja hadi Pioneer, Kokwas na bila kusahau Kukari, ni baadhi tu ya maeneo ambayo kiyataja hasa kwa wanafunzi wa vyuo wanaosomea katika mji huu wa Eldoret hawezi kosa la kusimulia. Ni maeneo ambayo yamekuwa yakishuhudiwa visa vya wanafunzi kuvamiwa, kuuawa na hata wengine kuibiwa mali zao na makachinja wanaotekeleza unyama huo kuanzia nyakati za saa 1 jioni. Giza linapoingia katika mji wa Eldoret, wengi huanza kurejea viamboni mwao, huku shughuli za usafiri zikisheheni katika barabara zote za kuelekea mitaa ya karibu. Ni muda ambao pia wahalifu huanza kujiandaa kwa ajili ya kuvuna mali wasizozipanda, huku wakiegemea zaidi upande wa wanafunzi wa vyuo kwa kufahamu kwamba wengi wao huwa na mali za thamani ikiwemo rununu za mkononi, vipakatalishi na vifaa vingine vya thamani. Baada ya visa hivi kukita mizizi, kwa wakati mmoja tuliondoka pamoja na mpiga picha kuelekea eneo la Busia kwa ajili ya safari ya mwisho ya mmoja wa wanafunzi kutoka chuo kimoja cha kadri mjini Eldoret.
Jipange, tunaelekea sasa makaburini.
Pale tuliweza kuzungumza na mwenzake aliyekuwa akiishi naye katika nyumba kukodisha maeneo ya Kipkaren, viungani mwa mji wa Eldoret.
Mimi ndio nimekuwa nikiishi na Elvis. In fact, I'm the one mwenye nilimrefer to ICS college whereby alikuwa na pursue ICT. And tumekuwa tukiishi naye tu vizuri like a brother. Actually, ilifika hadi Sunday ya date 6 whereby nilipigiwa simu because sikuwa nimefika kwa nyumba. Nilipigiwa simu nikaambiwa na neighbor kuna mtu amelala huko na ni kama ni Elvis, hebu kama muone. Mimi kufika huko nikampata, by the way alikuwa na bleed kwa masikio, amegongwa kwa head. Nikamrashadi Real Hospital. Kufika huko wakakata kumwattend because they needed cash. Thereafter ilibidi nimrefer to Eldoret Referral Hospital whereby tulifika huko saa 4 usiku and tulipitia kwa emergency, akawekwa room 5, then akafanywa matibabu kiasi hapo hivyo hadi saa 7 usiku whereby alipelekwa kufanywa CT scan. Na venye alifanywa CT scan, daktari wakaniambia kuna bleeding, like amebleed hadi kwa brain, so ilikuwa lazima afanywe surgery. Tukaenda hapo ICU tukapata daktari akatuambia the girl pass on but hawezi mtoa hapo ICU kabla hizo machine zote bado hazijazima, so we have to wait hadi hiyo machine izime ndio turudi. We stayed for like 4 hours na tukarudi kwenda tukapata the same machines bado ziko on na tukapata the different doctors. Wakatuambia now you have to accept the fact the guy may pass on, so sisi ni nyinyi sign tumpeleke mochari. I signed the papers on behalf of mzee because mzee by that time alikuwa amechanganyikiwa, hakuwa anajielewa, akapelekwa mochari.
Ni mazishi yaliyohudhuriwa na idadi kubwa ya wanafunzi wenzake, huku wakionyesha huzuni kwa kumpoteza mwenzao. Baadaye tulikutana na mmoja wa wahadhiri wake aliyeelezea kuwa kijana huyo alikuwa mwenye bidii na aliyependa zaidi taaluma yake chuoni humo.
My name is Flavor Samuel Maeri, head of department in ICT and engineering, and also a tutor or a lecturer in ICT. The late Elvis to me has been a personal friend, not just a student. And I knew Elvis from the word go when he joined ICS. The first day I interacted with Elvis was quite interesting because he was a good student with so many questions. That means that alikuwa mwanafunzi mwenye alikuwa na so much inquiry. He wanted to know more about this ICT. I remember one of the funniest questions he ever asked in class was what is the difference between IT and ICT, which according to us is some people could view it as the same, but people could view it as two different aspects or two different things. So as of today, I still don't believe that I've lost a good student like Elvis, and it still pains me that I've lost him through the cruel means that he went through. But on Tuesday, Monday he didn't report. On Tuesday, his cousin Sammy came to me and told me that Elvis is at the hospital. And I was like, what do you mean Elvis at the hospital? Which hospital? Nini nimefanyika? Kaniambia Elvis was attacked yesterday while he was going to look for supper, and he's currently on a life support machine at MTRH. Kaniambia, what do you mean? Which Elvis are you talking of? Because Elvis, last time I remember I talked to him was that Sunday. Wakati tukaongea naye asubuhi akiniambia tukiongea story ya computer. And yes, the same Elvis mwenye anakujanga class ya evening. You're Mr. Maeri? Yes, I'm Mr. Maeri. Yes, that Elvis, I am the one who referred him to ICS. And what do you mean? Which Elvis? So that evening, that same Monday evening, I remember we had some issue of a blackout that day. So some of my students, I talked to some of my students of the same issue. They rushed to the hospital before, and then they called me later on that they have seen Elvis, but Elvis is not in a good state. So I told them to wait for me there, and I rushed to go and see him that evening. Apparently that time when you pick up, or even at that time that those students were there, Elvis was no more. It's just that he was just in a life support machine. But again, God had his own reasons why he had to take Elvis at that particular time. Now, Elvis personally taught us some good lessons in ICS. Elvis has taught us one thing that we call love. Love is something that people don't understand. Love is something that you cannot tell someone that you love them unless you show them. Elvis showed how to love, not just saying. And actually, he never said that he loved anybody, but he showed how to love. And that's one lesson that I learned from him, because he never chose anyone to talk to. Kila mtu alikuwa tu rafiki yake at that particular session, even in classes. Unity is another thing, and Elvis just had a lot of traits that cannot be described, so many of them. As to me, may God rest his soul in eternal peace, and I believe he is in a better place. He's in a better place, and God had his own reason for what happened.
Bila shaka hapa ni eneo la Kipkaren, takriban kilomita 1 kutoka mji mkuu wa Eldoret ulioko katika kaunti ya Uasin Gishu. Na jinsi unavyotazama sasa hivi tumefika mahali hapa, maanake ndio mahali ambapo panafahamika kuwa maeneo ambayo mauaji yameweza kutekelezwa kwa wingi. Na jinsi unavyotazama, mwanafunzi mmoja aliweza kuuawa maeneo haya na kisha mwili wake kutupwa katika kidimbwi hiki unachokiona mahali hapa tuliko.
Eneo la tukio ni mkabala na kanisa moja mtaani humo, ambapo wakazi wanasema kuwa taa hii iliharibika siku kadhaa zilizopita, ila hatua za kuirekebisha bado zimekuwa kama kuitegea meli katika uga wa ndege.
Ukiangalia mahali kama pale hakuna taa. Kama wanaweza weka tu hapo street lights, at least mtu akitembea kwa secure. Then pale chini serikali nitasema nashukuru walituwekea taa pale, street light, lakini haifanyi, haimuliki usiku, so watu wanauawa tu.
Siku chache baadaye tulifunga safari na kuelekea katika chuo anuwai cha Eldoret, takriban kilomita 4 kutoka mji wa Eldoret. Ni chuo ambacho kinapatikana mkabala na eneo la Langas na kina idadi kubwa ya wanafunzi kilinganishwa na vyuo vingine. Kwa mjibu wa katibu mtendakazi wa wanafunzi chuoni humo, chuo hicho kina zaidi ya wanafunzi 18,000.
My name is Osin Yangulo. I'm a student at the Eldoret National Polytechnic. I pursue a diploma course in architectural engineering, and I'm currently serving in the student council of Eldoret Polytechnic as the secretary general to the cabinet. In Eldoret Poly we have like 18,000 students, around that, and even above. Yeah, we have students from all over. It is a national polytechnic, so we have students who are being placed by the COOPs, and those who are working students who come to look for the opportunities by themselves, and so long as you have what it takes to do a particular course, you can
Tulizungumza na baadhi ya viongozi wa wanafunzi ambao walitueleza kuwa swala hilo la wanafunzi kuvamiwa limekuwa changamoto, ila hujaribu kadri ya uwezo wao kushirikiana na maafisa wa polisi kutoka kituo cha Langas. Kwa wanafunzi walio na hisia za huzuni kuwapoteza wenzao, wanaiomba idara ya usalama sehemu hiyo kuwa mstari wa mbele na kupiga jeki hatua za usalama wa wanafunzi.
Pioneer Police Station is just like 800 meters from the place. But hakuna siku wa maskari wanakuja hapo. Kazi yao ni kungoja tu kuzunguka huko. There is no day wametuambia ati maybe kuna mwizi ameshikwa hapo ama kuna madara ameshikwa hapo. So ni gavapi ingilia kati alafu.
Maeneo haya Kipkaren kuna kanisa pale chini, kanisa linaitwa Julie. Lile kanisa yani hiyo imekuwa the main hotspot hapa. Kwa sababu kuna kijana mwenzetu wa shule pia aliuawa pale. Watu wengi wamepigwa pale. Juzi kuna msichana amekatwa panga pale tena. Na ukiangalia tena pale maeneo ya Cherunya pale kuna uwanja. Pia that's the main hotspot kule. Mimi himizo kwa serikali ni ya kwamba ukiangalia mahali kama pale hakuna taa. Kama wanaweza weka tu hapo street lights, at least mtu akitembea kwa secure.
Okay, so my name is Derek Fred Nyongesa. I'm a student at the National Eldoret Polytechnic. I'm studying a course in business, that is I'm taking supply chain management. So there's the issue of insecurity bana hapa hivi Langas. Our students bana being murdered, like usually there's this case of a girl who was murdered and at the same time was raped. So we are addressing the government to come and see this. It has becoming alarming because each and every week we are losing our students. So I'm urging the government to come in and take note of this, because we are losing students each and every day. So we need the government to put us more police officers and also to install more security lights and increase the hours of patrol so that our students may be at peace. So we like the government hear us because we are suffering. Sisi kama student yenyewe tunateseka. Unakaa hivi una imagine hata ukitembea street huwezi tembea na amani because maybe somebody there anakuangalia ndio kusnitch ama kutake kitu. So the government kindly we urge you come and hear us. See, as the student of Polytechnic tunateseka na tunaumia.
Yeah, it's because of our fellow students. We have got insecurity since last month. Students have gone under insecurities for around 3 months ago. Watu wengi wameuliwa, wanafunzi pia wamesafa of insecurity. And today nimepata chance to cry to our government because of insecurity. To our government, at least tunaomba mtusaidie na more security hapa kwa shule yetu ama around Eldoret Polytechnic environment at large. So sasa tukiongea hivi wanafunzi wengi wameanza kuacha shule because of insecurity. Mtu anafadhalisha ile aende nyumbani kwao kuliko uliwe. And as to why to erase those stuff, ni heri government ingilie kati wafanye partnership with the school administration, at least waone all students are safe. And to this juncture I wish to tell the government, being specifically national government, waangalie maslahi ya wanafunzi, wa add on more security.
Kwa mara nyingi comrade anapopata hiyo shida haizi kuja shule, na hapo sasa unapata kama lecturers wako na shida, wanafika kwenye darasa wanafunzi ni wachache. Pia wenzao wanakuwa na ile shida ya mwenzao mwingine hayuko. Kuna shida mingi. Pia mtu anatumia ile pesa ambayo alikuwa nayo anatumia kwenda hospitali. Juu mara mingi unapata wanaumizwa, wanatumia pesa kwenda hospitali. Mtu unapata ana pesa tena, ana miss classes. Hiyo inakuwa shida siku ya mtihani. Mtu amekosa classes kama 1 week, na unajua sasa mtu akikosa classes hivyo inakuanga shida. Security inaanza na mtu mwenyewe, inakuanzia wewe mwenyewe binafsi. Inafaa ujue ni time gani unafaa kuwa kwa nyumba, na pia inafaa ujue ni mahali gani unatembea na ni wakati gani unafaa kuwa nje. Sasa inafaa ukiwa ushatoka shuleni, enda kwa nyumba ikiwa una kazi nyingine. Kutembea si mzuri. So mtu ukishamaliza kazi yenye ulikuwa nayo, ufike kwako, hakikisha umefunga mlango vizuri. Yeah.
Wengi wao wanalalamikia eneo la Langas kuongoza kwa visa vya uhalifu.
I think
we can say most of our students are residents of Langas estate. And within Langas, we can say it is not that much safe in a place known as Cherunya. And also what we can urge students, security is all about your responsibility. Hatuwezi sema ni Cherunya peke yake. We can say it is everywhere. So we just urge them to be self-responsible. The measures we are taking as a school, I think, for example, we can curb our students by giving them a resident within our hostels. So only that we cannot include everybody within the hostels. So the number that will be going to reside outside, we advise them on areas where we think it is safe for them to go.
Okay, so reside sana about the areas of Cherunya, which we had a lot of cases happen huko, and areas of nikidhani Cherunya at large, Cherunya ndio tumehaji two students kindly not there.
Vile nimeingia wawili so far they are dead. Na kuna wengine nao wali survive. Kuna wengine walikuja wakapigwa wakasurvive, I think around 4. So those are the kind of cases vile nimeingia with in-card.
So far I've received the number of cases from our students who have been directly attacked by the criminals. I remember last semester we had a student who was attacked on his way to the residence, and that student had to be admitted in MTRH.
The first areas where we find the students being attacked are areas like Cherunya, Kisumu, around Kona. You find that these are the places where our students mostly stay. So that is the one challenge that we have. These areas have got cheaper housing and more houses, and they are the most insecure places.
We have heard of some incidences from students on cases concerning insecurity, especially around those estates like Langas and its suburbs, areas like those environs around Eldoret Poly. There are some students who have been attacked there from this institution. Places like Lupawa, Kisumu and Kipkaren.
Alafu places za Langas kwenda huko mbele. Alafu action pia, students should be careful in anything they do.
Fauka ya hayo, wanafunzi wa kike hubakwa kabla ya kupitia mateso makali.
Whereby you can find that those students who ends up in hospital, they ended up incurring a lot of costs in trying to get themselves treated. It also impacts on their studies, as some students are admitted there, whereby you will find that a student will miss his or her classes due to injuries sustained when they are being mugged or robbed, and also due to the loss of some of their items like phones or laptops. They will not be able to attend their classes effectively because they lack some of the learning resources like their computers or phones, which they get information of whereby they have their next classes, and that has impacted negatively on our students. And also that incident whereby students are being robbed has led to some students being much afraid to to occupy places in those areas that are deemed to be danger zones, and ends up securing accommodation in areas where they can find security but at a high cost. That also has impacted negatively on the students, whereby you find that students will pay high prices to get accommodation in areas which they deem secure, like those prime estates around this place.
Because we have reported cases of 5 students affected by security cases, where most of them have been taken to hospitals, and we, the students, funded them in the hospitals. So it has affected us economically. Tunachanga pesa ya kuwasaidia kwa bili hospitali, and also psychologically, most of the students who are affected, most of them may have neared exam periods, and when they are going to take their exams, they can lose their minds and confidence because of that trauma of being attacked and being insecure. So it is a serious issue because it is affecting the education and ability and the secureness of staying in the being free and being open to have good time and study times.
Hapo around Tulin niliatakiwa hapo na nikachukuliwa simu hapo, alafu nilichukuliwa bike ilikuwa Pioneer.
Tumekuwa na cases from those areas ambapo wanafunzi wamekuwa wakivamiwa na mali yao kuchukuliwa na hata mwishowe kuumizwa. Some of them have ended in hospitals, while some have reported their cases to our police stations around this place. So far this semester we have around 5 cases of students who have been attacked or mugged around those places that I've mentioned.
First of all, when before even earlier this semester, before before I received the cases from the cases whereby our students were attacked, I remember I was with a student leader from Eldoret Poly, whereby his student, around 2 students were killed on the same. So I, as a student leader, I had to take a immediate step to warn our students that there are some places that were no longer safe.
Kwa mujibu wa manusura wa mikasa hiyo ni kwamba wavamizi hawa hutumia silaha butu na ambazo ni hatari zaidi kwa usalama.
My name is John Marvin Kito. I'm a student at one of the institutions in Eldoret. So on my day at 9:45, I was going back home, and then I was attacked by some criminals. There were 2, walikuwa wawili, watatu actually walikuja na pikipiki, they were 3. So pikipiki kanipita, and then wakapita nyuma yangu, alafu wakashukisha mtu mmoja nyuma yangu, mtu wa pili na wa pikipiki wakanipita, so nilikuwa katikati yao. So wa nyuma akanimag, alafu I managed to escape from that one mwenye alikuwa ananimag, but wa pili wenye walikuwa mbele wakaniattack. Sasa tukaanza some fierce fights, and then nikaanza kuscream, but no one was available to help me at that time. And then wakatoa visu, and then they started saying that wanataka simu, wanataka pesa yenye niko nayo. Alafu kwa hiyo harakati nikakuwa nikakataa kuwapea, so wakatoa visu, and luckily nikadungwa kisu kwa mguu, but fortunately sikuchukuliwa simu because tulipigana na hao hadi nikarudishiwa simu. And then I went, so the next after nimedungwa kisu nikapelekwa hospitali, nikaekewa stitches mali nilikuwa nimedungwa kisu. For me, I think for the government, what I would love them to do is that such cases should be taken seriously, because students ni watu wenye wanakuja to change the future of tomorrow. So this stuff wanafunzi kuatakiwa is not a good thing. for the government wasichukulie kesi moja serious, waache ingine ikuwe pending. So I think kesi zote zinafaa zichukuliwe serious, isikuwe tu mzaha kwa pande ya serikali.
Ndio nilikuwa nimekuja mgeni kwa sababu najua huku tumekuja kwa sababu ya masomo. Wakati nilikuja huku mwanzo tukakuwa tumetokea shule, so hiyo harakati ya kurudi kwa nyumba, so tukakutana na wakora, tukapigwa, ndio ilifanya nikahama kule Langas, tukajeruhiwa majeraha mabaya sana. Tulinyang'anywa simu na pesa. Sasa hiyo kama comrade, unajua life ya comrade, sasa ile umepewa pesa, sasa ndio umekuja nayo, unaona kunyang'anywa tena ni shida. Unajua mwanzo huwezi jua wanatumia silaha gani, lakini mimi ile kitu ambacho nina uhakika nayo walikuwa wanatumia kisu ama panga, sababu nilikatwa hapa, ukiona hapa kwenye masikio nilikatwa hapa. Sasa hiyo inathibitisha kwamba wanatumia kisu. Labda kuwaambia tu wajichunge, kwa sababu ni wanafunzi wengi wameuawa. Mimi niliponea tu kwa bahati ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Lakini inafaa wajichunge sana, wajichunge. Na unajua wakiishi huku, kama ni kuingia kwa nyumba waingie mapema, na kama ni kutoka shule pia watoke mapema kwa sababu ya usalama wa maisha yao. Na katika shule yangu ni wale ambao wameathirika na janga kama ambalo mimi nimepitia, saa hizi tuko kama 4 hivi, na kuongezea ni kwamba mmoja ameaga.
On my way kuna watu walitokea kuna watu walitokea nyuma yangu, mwingine akanitap from back. So when niliangalia nyuma hao wengine wakanikava, so they were 4 people wakanikava, 2 of them having knives from front na nyuma. So na wakaniambia niwapatie, nitoe simu yenye nilikuwa nayo kwa mfuko. So nilikuwa nimebeba bag na nilikuwa nimeweka simu kwa mfuko. So wakaniambia nitoe simu because walikuwa na knives. I felt that nikiresist maybe wangeenda kufanya kitu mbaya, so nikatoa simu nikawapatia. Alafu hapo hivi wakaitisha the pin of the phone. By the way, I couldn't react towards them because wangeenda kuniinja, so nikawapatia hiyo pin. Nikapatia pin ya M-Pesa, wakatoa pesa. So immediately the one mwenye alikuwa amechukua simu akaenda na simu, leaving me with the 3. So the 3 remaining wakaniambia don't try to react because your life is in danger. So venye huyo mwenye alikuwa na simu alienda akapotea, so hao wengine 3 wakaniambia toka na uende na usijaribu kufanya kitu yoyote weird. So another case came in a time nilikuwa pioneer pia, nilikuwa nimeenda kwa shop and on that process ya kupurchase kitu nilikuwa nimeweka bike yangu pia hapo nje and it was also stolen. So I just gave up, nikasema ni sawa tu, but issue ya security LD they just have to improve because most of the students by the way are so insecure. Tumesikia so many cases of students being killed, wengine are being harassed, theft, vitu mingi zinafanyika. So the issue to do with security, it must be improved hapa Eldoret. The government should provide the measures to cut out the issue of security, like wanafaa waweke anything to do with security. Just the police officers should be aware of everything that is going on, na police officers wakireport issue wakuwe ready kusaidia mtu, wasikuwe that slow, because hata this case of mine ya simu walikuwa slow sana na sioni like wakireact. Nikienda huko every time wananiambia nirudi, so wakuwe ready kusaidia mwa. So these comrades wanapitia challenges mingi sana na yafaa wakuwe ready to be helped in any case.
Kwa majina naitwa mimi ni mkaji wa hapa Kipkaren, na hapo awali nilikuwa naishi kule Langas, na mimi sijaishi hapa miaka mingi, lakini nimekuja hapa kwa ajili ya masomo. Unapata ya kwamba hali ya usalama si nzuri ukielekea kule masaa ya saa 1 kuanzia saa 12, hali si hali. Na unapata ya kwamba unapotembea kule na masaa yameenda, utapata ya kwamba utakandamizwa sana na vijana wenzako, na hutaweza kuwajua kwa sababu hawa watu wakuja maybe tuseme wakikuja kukuattack, watakuja kwanza wakutane na wewe wakupite. Wakisha kupita na wanarudi sasa nyuma yako. Wakipita utapigwa tu na kitu kwa kichwa, hata utajua ni nini, either nyundo or something else. Mostly they target kichwa kwa sababu wanajua kichwa, wakupiga kichwa hakuna kitu kingine utafanya, you will be confused. Then unajua kikupiga hata kama ni mgongo nini, at least mkono inaweza fanya kazi nini. Wana target kichwa sana sana, poteze fahamu. But mimi nakumbuka ile wakati nilipigwa si kupoteza fahamu. Nilikuwa at least nilikuwa nimepoteza, ni kama nimeenda lakini kosa. Na walikuwa kama wanaume kama 4 hivi. Tukavurugana nao, lakini sasa wakaona ya kwamba imeshindikana, ikabidi watumie upanga kidogo. Hadi sasa bado nina alama kichwani iko hapa. Nilikatwa kapanga kidogo, ndo sasa hapo nika lose sasa conscious kabisa. Sasa aim yao ni yao, wanataka tu simu, ama kama uko na bag wanaamini ya kwamba ukibeba bag na wewe ni kijana mdogo, wanaamini ya kwamba umebeba laptop, so wanataka waibe hiyo laptop waende na. So wakanichukua simu, wakanichukua kila kitu, but I thank God waliniachia uhai. So mimi kuondokea hapo maisha ikakuwa hivyo, nikaenda OC, but nikatibiwa, sasa niko fiti. Na mimi si wa kwanza na mimi si wa mwisho, bado hizo vitu zinaendelea. So mimi nilikuwa na himizo kwa vijana wenzangu, naambia vijana, ukikuja kutembea maeneo ya Eldoret, jua ni nani unatembea na yeye na ni nani unakaa na yeye. Na tafadhali shughuli zako ufanya tu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 11:30. Ikifika pale uenda tu kwa nyumba, jishughulishe na shughuli za nyumba, lakini usitembee, manake naona ya hali ya usalama si nzuri vile.
Wengi wa wanafunzi huripoti visa hivi katika vituo vya polisi, ila husalia kuambiwa uchunguzi utafanyika.
Alafu the next day tukaenda police station, tukareport, nikachukua OB number, wakaniambia niende nichukue form ya P3. Nikaenda nikachukua form ya P3 from the hospital, and then nikaambiwa jinsi nikaambiwa jinsi steps itachukuliwa by the police. Alafu kukiwa na any arrests of that sort, watanicall so that niweze identify the people who attack. For now bado sijapata call yoyote, but nilikuwa tu nafundisha, niko na form ya P3 as a person, so wakaniambia watanicall, but up to date hawajanicall. 3 weeks ago on Tuesday.
Mimi nikatoka immediately nikaenda kuripoti kwa police station. Hapo kwa police station nikapatiwa OB, nikaambiwa hiyo time ilikuwa kitu saa 1 hadi saa 1. So nikaenda kuripoti kwa police station, nikapatiwa OB na nikaambiwa nirudi the following day so that nipeane statement. So nilirudi the following day, nikapatiana statement na nikaambiwa watajaribu kufollow up the case. So I've been trying to go back kusikia kenye inaendelea. So naambiwa I still wait, they're still following up.
So the school officials of the TNEPS, so that is the student council of the Eldoret National Polytechnic, took a petition to Langas Police Station or CPD. So they told us they are doing investigations. So we are still waiting for the results from them.
Okay. So far I had just one case, but ili follow up. The case that Kenya iko very much with it was being followed up, and right now iko under the chief commander of the county and follow up on it. Yes. Yeah, the security is under the follow up on it.
We've managed to at least do even petitions to the Langas police station, to the OCPD, to address our issues, reporting maybe incidences that maybe have not been reported, reporting incidences that maybe have already been reported, and follow up, so that at least they know that we really have issues that are really alarming in regards to insecurity matters. We have several students who have been attacked. Some have been left in a very, very critical conditions. Some have been killed on the spot. Some have been attacked, and later on we lose them when they are seeking the medication. Like just this month, we lost one student who was attacked. It was some mystery how things transpired. We do not understand, but I believe everything is in the follow-up by the police. And after being attacked, we lost the student who he was undergoing medication, and we saw rest in peace. Currently, we also have one student who was an alumni of our institution, though the student just finished his studies last semester. I think in the previous next series that we did, he was attacked at Sumundogo, around areas of Sumundogo. He's currently in ICU, though it is being said that he is a little bit recovered, and that now he can recover some of the faces that he sees. So the issue of insecurity is too much. Our students are being attacked.
Pasi na maeneo tuliyoyataja katikati pa mji hapajasazwa.
Mostly hii cases zimetokea side za kwanza, tutaanzia tu hapa within town, hapa town CBD. These cases are so many here, so students should be cautious. The place I was attacked at first, nikiibiwa simu, ilikuwa hapa Naivas Sokoni market.
So like the cases of insecurity within Eldoret is something that is should be addressed. So secondly, earlier this semester we had around 3 of our students who have been attacked on the same. So we had to do as a council to take a step by providing a memo to circulate among our comrades that there were some areas who were no longer safe. So in those areas we had identified.
Kutokana na baadhi ya viongozi tuliozungumza nao ni kwamba swala la uhusiano wa kimapenzi kati ya wanafunzi laweza kuchangia visa hivyo kuongezeka.
That is a social life, and that one can also affect. People are different, and with the youths tunaelewa sote kwa mambo kama hayo yako. So in our institution we have got the guidance and counseling department. And these departments help us in a really, really good way in handling that, because bodyguard relationships and things that cannot prevent, because somebody goes there he or she wants somebody, and that is an adult. Mtu amekuja college ni adult. You cannot stop that person from dating somebody. So when they date outside there, when they have issues, we do advise them that we can report if somebody is maybe threatening you because maybe you broke up, or maybe you are seducing somebody's girlfriend, brings up wrangles. In case of anything that you see that is raising any red flags, you can report to our security advocate. We have administrative police within, headed by an Inspector Masharia. We have the security guards for the institution. We have the dean's office. We have the guidance and counseling department, and we have these student council as well. You can report to any of these offices so that you can get assistance. And those are things that are there. We also acknowledge that they can also be adding up to these insecurity issues, but we try and tame that at a level that cannot reach that.
The issue is there is a problem somewhere, and the problem needs to be sorted now, not later, but today. Where is the issue? And I also had some interaction again with some of my few students, and my cue to my understanding that these attacks are just propagated or propelled by fellow students wenye wanakuja kutafuta studies, but wakifika in the process studies imewalemea, so the only thing that they can result to is now find easy way to access money or easy way to access resources. which is a very big problem in the society. Okay, so we really need to put our students in a safer place. No place is safer. Trust me, no place is safer. No, you're not going to get a safer place. But how are we going to have a safer place? We have mechanisms. We have mechanisms that we can put in place to make sure that our students are in a safer state. If something has been prominent, has been paramount at a certain location, you hear that today someone has died, tomorrow someone has died, another day, the other day someone also died, the same place. Then, what is the role of our security officers? Because these people are being paid from the taxes that we do accumulate almost on a regular basis.
Baadhi ya viongozi wa wanafunzi wanaiomba serikali kuingilia kati na kuhakikisha kwamba usalama wa wanafunzi unaimarika.
We need our students. So I would like to advise them to kindly try and partner with us to install more security lights along Cherunya estates, along Kisumu Ndogo estates, and along Queen's Garden estates as well. So number 2, I would like also to ask the government also to add more police stations to Langas. Langas, we are having very few police officers. They should be added so that even some can be given the opportunity to serve in Cherunya regions. Some can be given the opportunity to serve in Kisumu Ndogo regions, and some can also be given opportunity to serve in Queen's Garden regions and the regions of our students. Actually. So I think that one will be of much help to us. And I also would like the government also to partner with us, at least to ensure that sensitization of our students also is achieved. So those are the kind of things I would like the government to
to the police, I may say we are grateful, but we are asking for more reinforcements. We are asking for more critical ways of handling this kind of issues. It is not something good that a parent sends a student, a son or a daughter, to a particular area to pursue a particular course, basically for academics, let me say so. Then, before the child finishes the studies, the child is maybe sent back home in a casket, or maybe the child is admitted in a hospital in a condition that is really alarming, that the life of this student is at stake. So let us treat these students as our children back at home, so that we can advise them, so that we can feel the pain that the parents back there at home can also be feeling, so that we have a very, very peaceful and calm community where we are all safe.
Pia vilevile wanaomba wanafunzi pamoja na wazazi wao kuzingatia swala la usalama wa kibinafsi.
And also for those students who like to enjoy themselves on weekend, we have advised them to complete those times that they enjoy with friends outside in time, so that they can be in their residential areas in time to avoid being mugged along the way.
The patrol should be there, and also when the patrol or patrol officers are informed that these areas are no longer safe, that means also the students can get caution that those places are no-go zones.
Security is very important, but as well, personal security is much more important. So, personal security, I would advise, as much as we are doing much more to cater for external security, personal security is much more self-centered. So you must know that not everyone you can take to your own house. Utapata maybe umepeleka mtu, then like the same person at night anakusaidia to that. So what I would advise is that when it comes to your house, take it your personal initiative, that no one else, actually, not everybody else knows where you stay. That is number one. Number two, I would advise that in as much as you find yourself walking in the night outside, then kindly be in a group. Or when night time finds you outside, then it's better to sleep where you are rather than walk alone in the night. Yeah, I would advise that way. Then thirdly, I would also advise our students to be more aware of cases affecting them, and also they should be able to access the hotline numbers of which I had already given them. Yeah, in any case of an attack, they just call that number. Then immediately there will be a response.
Wapime masaa, wasikae sana, wasilewe mpaka hiyo masaa inafika mtu amemaliza pesa ana ya transport, anajiamini, anaenda alafu anapikwa. So kitu tunaambia wanafunzi ni kwamba mahali ambapo unaishi hakikisha ya kwamba kuna amani kwa masaa fulani. Kama umechua masaa fulani ni mbaya, hakikisha ya kwamba kwa hiyo masaa utakuwa umefika kwa nyumba. I think the first thing that the parents should do as their students got admitted, they should prioritize one thing, that where is my student going to live, or where is my child going to reside. That student should also consult where is the best place I can live, because for example those students coming to campus for the first time, they are not conversant with the surrounding. So the thing they should do as they scan around is to consult among the students, or even to consult the university or the management, that I'm new in this area, where can I reside, or where is that place that is safe. That is now in the case of a student. Secondly, in the case of now a parent should actually make sure they should not look on the in terms of on the cheap or on the affordability of the rent. Yes, it could be affordable, but maybe your student or your child is living in a place that is so dangerous. So a parent is paying school fees, and maybe after all that student can be attacked, and at some point that student can die. So like if you are seeing the affordability at an expense of risking the life of your child, so what is the gain? So the thing is, a parent should be responsible to know where is his or her student lives. Is it safe? Is it not safe? Those are the questions. If it is safe, fine. If it is not safe, the necessary measures can be done as a parent. So I think what I can say is that the security of the students is mutually inclusive between the parent and the student. The student should talk with the parent that this place is not safe, and when the parent is informed by the student or by the child that residing in a place that is not safe, please just accept that it is true, and also you should do the necessary, because there's no need to doubt your child, and after all you might lose that child, or at some point might attack, and then it now give you another expense of taking to hospital, or some may have severe injuries that can leave permanent injuries. So as a parent, they should act responsible, be in touch with their students on their whereabouts. They should know how they are going, their well-being in general. And I know it's going to be, all shall be okay. Someone can start a university or a college, and then he or she completes while he or she is in all health.
Back to my students again, we really need to be cautious of ourselves. Don't just stay in a cheaper place because you need to avoid places that are safer. Yes, it is cheap. You're going to pay it at a cheaper price, or you're going to pay a rent that is fair, which is good. You're going to save a lot of money. But how safe are you there where you are? So to our students again, you need to be you need to take care of yourselves. You need to be in a position that you know wherever you are you can, because I understand we are still growing. That means that we might even report to our, or we might arrive to our places, our residential places later than 8 or even 10 or even 12. But is it safe? Is it a place that you can walk comfortably at any time? Let this not be something that is going to be repeated over and over again. Let's have an end unto this, and let's work in unity so that we try as much as possible. We cannot do it on our own, but we can try as much as we can so that we can do it together. So my advice again to our students: make sure you're in a safer place.
My advice to my fellow students is that your security begins with yourself, and when you as a person take the mandate of keeping yourself safe by checking on the areas where you stay, by checking on the kind of people you interact with, and the best way to address your grievances when you have issues with anybody, or even if they can be personal, know the best offices to always knock to so that you can get assistance. So your security starts with yourself, and let us also be our brother's keepers. Let us advise our fellow students. Somebody might be coming to Eldoret Poly without knowing the kind of the situation that we are having outside there. So let us advise them accordingly so that they be aware, and that will help us reduce these kind of cases. It is not our pleasure or our happiness to see our students being attacked outside there, to see our students being admitted at hospitals due to insecurity issues. So that can be my advice to them. Then one thing I know, a parent, kama mzazi anali parent, mzazi anafaa kuwa anajua mtoto wake anaishi wapi. Mtoto akimwambia kwamba eneo ambayo unaishi ni eneo ambayo sio salama, let that parent take the initiative of sending a guardian, a relative, somebody who is elderly enough, or coming in person to check where the student stays and where the student wants to relocate to. Then I would maybe also advise that, if possible, they should not even be sending their rent directly to these students. They let them have their direct connection to the landlord, so that in case of anything, they can also get direct contact with the landlords when there is any issues. And when these students, a student asks a parent to maybe relocate to somewhere safe, they should reconsider some things like maybe the housing can be expensive in the areas that is more safe to stay in. But they can, if there is a relative in the very institution, like now in Eldoret Poly, I as a law, maybe have a cousin who also studies here. Why can't we share a house, share the cost, which we could have cutted incurred when we are staying in a place which is not secure, like where we will be moving to. So that is also a possibility. If there is a way that you can have even students staying, but I wouldn't advise for a big number. I will advise for maybe 2 or not more than 3 to stay in a house if they cannot afford the housing rates in places that are cheap, that are expensive, I mean, that are very much secure. So, as a society, as a national polytechnic community, we may advise the society outside there that our students also stay in, that let them treat these students as their children as well. When wangependa watoto wao walindwe na watu wengine waishi nao, ndio vile waishi na watoto wetu kama watoto wetu Poly. Let them advise them. Let them tell them the truth. Wakiona watoto, mtu amekuja Eldoret Poly ameitwa kwa ajili ya masomo, na kwa kweli ameenda kutafuta nyumba maeneo ambayo is not secure, they can advise at least hand a plot kama hii na hii, there can be a vacant. Then the investors, of which in this case we see the landlords. They can also ensure that ploti zile ambazo wamejenga, if they cannot have a security guard, let them have security lights and a fenced a plot with a gate yenye mtu hawezi access bila permission ya residents wa hiyo plot. With that, tunapata vitu kama uwizi hata ya nyumba ina reduce. Then on addition as well, the society inafaa kuwa inamsaidia. If we give these youths outside there or any individual outside there an opportunity to get a job, penye anaweza pata kakitu jioni aende kwa nyumba atunue hata kama ni mboga akule na ugali, hizi wizi zitaisha. You find that somebody might be stealing because he or she lacks a source of income. So let us try and establish a source of income for these people outside there, so that we have a community that everybody is dependent on in him or herself in a very, very clean way. Then the government as well can provide very many public amenities, enough public amenities like social halls where these youths can always go and at least converge, discuss things that are meaningful. They can at least call politicians there, tell them what they have, and get support from these kind of people. They can also provide facilities that can help them in a way that maybe they can even come up with projects like tree planting and they sell the seedlings. In Eldoret, the weather is so much conducive that a tree is something that if you can have some very, very nice, like a seedling nursery garden for raising up seedlings for trees or any fruits, you can be making money with that. So let us give these people opportunities. Let us give them ideas. Let us try and finance them. Let us help them get the network so that we can have them engaged. With that, we can reduce this kind of cases.
For the students, just make sure that you keep time wherever unatembea, make sure uko at the safe place. Uwezi jua mtu mwenye ako nyuma yako ama mbele yako, by the way, maybe they are planning anything for you. So for students, you just make sure that ukitembea and at least know a person who is in front of you ama nyuma yako, ndo at least you are secured. And make sure that operation time yako ikue, usikue unatembea late sana, because these cases mostly happen at late hours.
So what we did actually is to inform the students that security is personal. You should have your own, you should treat security as a personal responsibility.
However, the number, each and every life matters. So we have to look for a way to make that stop. Because that's even more that if it is just one single individual, that individual is going to be somebody great in this nation after passing through this polytechnic. So as a nation, we've lost a very, very important source.
Huku idadi ya wanafunzi wanaoingia katika mji huu wa Eldoret kwa ajili ya kujiunga na vyuo mbalimbali ikizidi kuongezeka, swala la usalama limesalia mikononi mwao ili kuhakikisha kwamba wanafika katika makazi yao kabla ya giza kuingia.